I have many reasons why I like a limited edition versus a trade edition. Basically, with a trade edition, you're going to have lower quality. You're going to pay less, but you're getting less quality compared to a limited edition. Limited editions aren't always available because you can't afford it or you missed out on it because they're limited. Not everyone can own one, but if you are fortunate to follow some of these small presses that I'm going to talk about, you really should check these out. The information on some of these small presses is down in the description, down in the video here. So I got links. Check them out. I encourage you. Please help them out. Give them some support. But it comes down to the reasons why I prefer small presses. You have the quality. The quality is so much higher on these small presses, what they offer on their limited editions. Trade editions are typically glued when it comes to the binding. Binding is the most important part of the book. If your binding is glued, it's not going to hold up as well as a sewn binding. The boards, too. That's one thing I wanted to mention. The boards are inferior on a trade edition if it's a hardcover. Limited editions just have higher quality materials, and the printing is typically nicer. You're going to have a nicer font. I find that the actual blackness of the print is deeper compared to a trade edition. And that is something that I like to have, a nice dark print. You're going to have better paper quality, better thickness. And it's just, it's a night and day difference. It's totally obvious if you would take a trade edition and you hold it up next to a limited edition, what's what. And you're going to have the possibility of signatures. Most limited editions are going to be signed by the author or the illustrator or any contributor, like somebody writing the foreword. The authors may not be alive, so they may have a facsimile signature. I know Centipede Press does that a lot with the authors that are no longer alive. They did that just recently with their Frankenstein edition. They did that with Bernie Wrightston, too, who is no longer here. But the artwork is amazing. That's an edition right there just to warrant getting a $500 book compared to a $20 trade edition with all the illustrations. It being a massive, huge book. But I'll get into different videos that are going to feature some of the examples from all these publishers that I want to talk about. We'll do that on other videos here. But along with the signatures, you're going to have illustrations typically. Now, the illustrations are usually a step above what you would get in a trade edition. They're not always in color, but the quality is just amazing. These same illustrators typically work with all these small presses. You have illustrators like Ben Baldwin, Vincent Chong, Dirk Berger. One of my favorites, you got Francois Vaillancourt. He is a phenomenal illustrator. They all are. They all have different styles, but I get excited whenever I see any of these illustrators in one of these books that I pick up. It just is like icing on the cake. So, along with those reasons, you also have the sheer collectability of a limited edition. Not everyone's going to be able to own it because they're limited, sometimes to a couple dozen, maybe to a couple hundred, maybe around 1,000. You're going to have a limitation, and people are going to miss out. And people might miss out because they don't want to pay the money because they're too expensive. And then you'll be sorry because you can maybe get a copy on eBay, but you're going to pay maybe twice as much. So, but the ability to say that you're able to get 1 out of 250. That's pretty cool if it's important to you. Now, also the extra content. Sometimes with the limited, you have extra content that you don't have with the trade edition. When it's there, it makes paying more for a limited edition more of a good reason. It's more justified. I feel more justified in doing that. Now, also the fact that sometimes there's a book that is out of print and you can't buy it. Let's say you had a copy a long time ago and you lost it, and it's one of your favorite books and you haven't read it for a while and you want to read it and you can't get a copy. You can buy a used beat up copy that's overpriced on eBay, but then maybe you just get wind of one of these small presses that they're going to be doing a small run of that book, and they're even going to have extra content, or maybe there's going to be some signatures involved. I mean, that right there is a perfect reason to get a limited edition. All these small presses need more praise for the quality that they do. I included a lot of links down in the video here. I encourage you to go check them out.